So the new season of Rainbow Six Siege is finally here, and Ubisoft have completely revamped the way the attachment system works in Rainbow Six Siege. In this video I'm going to be going over what all of the attachments in Rainbow Six Siege now do, which operators and weapons you should be using them on, and which ones you should be avoiding. So without wasting too much of your time, if you guys are going to enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and let's jump straight into it. So jumping straight into it then, let's have a look at the grips first, because we got a brand new grip introduced into the game, and all three of these are going to be doing something different or have been buffed or nerfed. So starting off with the horizontal grip, the brand new grip in Rainbow Six Siege, if you equip this to any operator including 1, 2, and 3 speeds, your character will run 5% faster. It's not that big of an increase, but over long distances you definitely will notice it, especially on the slower operators in the game. As for the vertical grip, it still just dampens your overall vertical recoil, so make sure you equip this on most of your weapons. However, with that being said, it has been nerfed by 5% from previous seasons, so it's not going to be as strong. The angled grip no longer increases your ADS time, instead it increases your reload speed, so using this on weapons like the LMGs are going to be more useful. Now the rundown for the grips is basically you want to use a vertical grip on any weapon in the game. It's just going to make your accuracy 10 times better. You're going to be running this 9 times out of 10 no matter what weapon you're using. The two other grips only come into play when you're using a weapon that has very low recoil already without the vertical grip, in which case you can go for the angled grip, would be my preferred option for that 20% reload speed, or if you're playing on a slow operator you can put on the horizontal grip for, as I said, that 5% movement speed. Moving on over to the laser sight then, the under barrel, there is not really any downsides to not running a laser sight right now. If you equip a laser sight, you're going to ADS 15% faster, bringing your ADS time almost back to what it was in year 8. With that being said though, there is one downside, and it's the fact that any operator in the game can see this laser. So say you're holding an angle like this and you're aiming right here, that defender is going to be able to see your laser sight on that doorway, and it will probably give away your position. Now what I would say is run laser 9 times out of 10 again, just like the vertical grip, unless you're playing an anchor role and you're only going to be holding angles on the objective and you're not going to be moving or aiming down sights very often. Moving on over to the barrels then, these haven't actually changed, but if you don't know what they are, flash hider will reduce your overall vertical recoil over a long spray from your gun. Similarly, the compensator will do the same, but instead of vertical recoil it will be horizontal recoil. The muzzle brake reduces the overall weapon kick of a single shot, so the first shot of your weapon will not have as much kick. The suppressor is obviously just going to remove the muzzle flash and then make your gun more silent, and then the extended barrel actually increases the base damage of your weapon and reduces the damage drop off. Now the rundown for the barrel attachments is flash hider is arguably the best. Any gun that has a lot of recoil, you're going to want to equip the flash hider. In some rare instances you can run the compensator on weapons such as Ella's SMG and maybe some LMGs in the game as well. Muzzle brake is just best for pistols and DMRs, the one-shot weapons in the game. Suppressor is also quite useful for secondary weapons and stuff like that if you're trying to be sneaky and take out cams silently. And then extended barrel can be quite useful, but only on weapons that don't have lots of kicks. So if you're using like the UMP or Frost SMG, then the extended barrel is useful. But moving on from the attachments into the sights in the game, they have been completely overhauled in year 9 of Rainbow Six Siege. Each weapon scope now will actually change your aim down sight speed. Basically, the more magnified it is, the slower your ADS is going to be. So with the iron sights, it'll be the fastest. 1-time sights, it'll be a little bit slower, and then the 2.5 and 3.5 time scopes will be slightly slower than the 1-time sights. Now with the scopes, it all comes down to your personal preference, you know, what weapon you're using, how good you are at controlling recoil. Iron sights you're going to be avoiding most of the time unless you're memeing or you're doing a running gun kind of play style. 1-time sights are probably going to be better for most of the defenders because you're going to be spending most of your time inside. You want to engage in those shorter range gunfights rather than the long range ones. But with that being said, there are a few operators like the MP5 on dark and stuff. If you're going for spawn peaks or if you're holding long angles on certain maps, then maybe the 2.5 time scopes are going to be useful. Now once again, as for which individual sight, it's really down to preference again. Out of the 3 ACOGs, I prefer magnified B. This is the OG ACOG sight. It looks the best in my opinion. As for the 1-time sights, I run between Hollow A, sometimes I run Reflex B. Other than that, I don't really use any of the other sights. And then as I said, the iron sights you're going to be avoiding most of the time, so don't worry about that. Either way guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, click the video on screen. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.